My name is Colleen from Crafts at Home, and today I will be showing you how to make a card with roses just using doodles. So because it's difficult to see if I draw with just a normal pen, I'm going to start off by just exaggerating the design so you can get an idea of how it's made, and then I will go from there and show you how we assemble it. And we're going to be making a card. So to do a very simple rose, I'm going to start with a black dot, and then I'm just going to do a few spirals around the outside edge and bring this down to a tapered point like so. And I'm going to build up a few of these just to make a bunch. Florists will tell you that if you are working with flowers, that it's usually better to work with uneven flowers. They somehow are more pleasing to the eye. So I think I'm going to do just 7 of these little roses, but you could quite easily add as many as you wish. So we've got 4. There we go, 5. And they don't have to be perfect. They could all be at different angles. It's absolutely fine. So you can just carry on. 6. I think I'll put another one over here. And just remember that if it does come behind something else, just to fill in the bottom, otherwise it might look a little bit strange. So I'm now going to give each of these a stem. So just imagine where the bottom of the rose will be and bring your stem down from that. If it's behind something else and it's important that you see the stem, then bring that through and try and bring the stems together so that they don't look like a messy bunch, that they kind of look as though they're going to be tied together. All right, so you've got the idea there of how to actually go about doing the actual drawing. So I'm just going to set this aside, and I've done one previously on a smaller piece of card because obviously I want to make a greeting card with this, and I'm going to use just a few of our normal colored pencils just to color these in. So I'm going to start off just doing the little lines for the stems. It doesn't matter when you're doing this over the black lines whether they actually are in exactly the same position. It's not serious at all. Then to actually create some depth, I'm going to start with what would be the center of the rose if you were looking down into it. I'm going to color this in firstly with a lighter pink. And don't try and cover all the space. You know, if there are some white areas, that's fine because it just adds a bit more interest and it gives you a highlight point in your rose as well. Okay, so do that first. Now I'm going in with a slightly deeper pink and just doing a few lines there. So you can see that it's just a little bit more varied and it creates a little bit more interest. Doodle cards such as these are really a wonderful way to occupy yourself if you don't know what you feel like doing with your time, or if you've got people that you need in your home to keep occupied, like little ones during the time of lockdown. That's also a possibility. Now I'm going to color in the base of this, and you'll see that I'm using a slightly curved line like this just to create a little bit of movement. So I'm going in with my first color, my light, and you can always go in and make this darker if you wish a little bit later on, but just start off fairly lightly. You won't come unstuck. Like most things in life, it's easier to build something up than to try and erase it a little bit later, and especially colored pencils, not all of them like to be erased. Some will, but not all of them. This is a lovely way to do a family activity as well. Right, so you can see that this doesn't take long at all. And then I'm going to go in with my darker color and just create some depth. Now when you create depth or you create highlights and shadows, you need to imagine that light is coming from one side or the other. So imagine this bunch of flowers being standing in a room somewhere and the sunlight streaming in from the window. So I'm going to imagine the light coming in from my right. So my shadow will, by necessity, be on the left-hand side. So taking my darker shade, I'm just going to do some quick little zigzag lines like this on the left-hand side of my roses. And this is going to create the shadows. Also just using a slightly curved line to create a little bit of movement. There we go. And then on the shadow side of the rose, I'm going to use my colored pencil just to darken that outside line of the rose itself. So you'll see as I'm doing this that it's already creating the depth that I'm looking for. There we go. If at this point you feel that maybe you'd like some more color, like maybe just a little bit in here, then it's absolutely fine to go back in and add in some more color. Okay? You might sometimes find that just even around the top of the flower where the center part would be, it might be nice just to add a little bit more. Don't worry too much about staying in the lines, it's absolutely fine. And then if you have desire to, you could create a little bow like I've done, just very simple line bow. Now, in order to be able to stick this down onto a piece of card, I'm going to be using some plain recycled card, and I'm going to be folding this in half. I like to actually put my fingers at the end here so that I match them up nicely and just fold it down nicely with my thumb. And then on the back of my card, I've put double-sided tape, which I'm just simply going to flick off here quite easily with my nails. And I'm going to stick it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And stick that down as so. So that makes a very nice card with very little effort and very little time at all. I have previously done some other cards where if you wish you could add a little 3-dimensional bow, or you could actually just simply take the drawing that you've done and put it onto a darker mount and then back onto a lighter card so that it pops nicely. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little section, and I will be doing other doodle cards, so please go back to my channel and just log on so that you can enjoy those too. Bye for now.